Hello? Okay, Mona, can you see me? I think we have it. I think we're live streaming. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. I was totally having technical difficulties because I had to try to figure it out on a different computer, which, as you can see, doesn't work very well. But good thing I have people I can call that can help me. So please forgive me for starting late. I'm going to actually start off with something. I know you guys probably have no idea what's going on and why I'm doing a live stream right now, but I'm going to start off with what I received from a friend just a few minutes ago. It says, so which daughter did you embarrass with that ridiculous stunt at the college? And which one did you make film it? You used to be a wonderful mother, and now look at you. It's really sad and disgusting. It's really sad that that's a so-called friend who thinks that by me standing up for my daughter's rights, for me having my daughter speak up for herself, her God-given rights, is disgusting, is shameful. So I'm going to start out with what has been happening. So my daughter is a junior in high school, but she goes to the PSEO program at SMSU. And let's start off by saying again, she has an exemption from her doctor, clearly stating that she cannot wear a mask or a face covering. I've given that to the school. I've given it to her professors. Everyone knows this. So yesterday she received a note from her professor stating that she wasn't going to be allowed to go to her class if she doesn't have a face covering or a mask on. And I told her to write back and say that no, she has an exemption. She is, even though, again, for me, we have the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the civil rights, to say that she is allowed to be in school. You cannot discriminate for any reason. And so she asked me to walk her to school this morning because she didn't want to go there by herself because she was afraid. She was scared of what was going to happen when she got on the campus, what her professor was going to say to her. What were they going to do? And so I said, yes, of course, I'm not going to have you do this alone. I will walk with you. So Steve, I don't know if you know Steve Laurie, has been a great friend, just supporting me and being here with all of this craziness that is going on. And so we get to the school and she's upset, really upset. We're all upset in this whole thing. I've never said this would be easy. This is heartbreaking for me, for my daughters. So she gathers up the courage to go into her classroom. She goes in the back of the room, sits back there. I'm standing outside in the hallway. Steve's standing outside in the hallway. I will be uploading different pictures and videos later today. So if there's any questions, I don't know if anyone's on because I'm late, you can ask me some questions. So we're standing outside and she's in her classroom and I hear her professor say to her, what was it that you said exactly? You have to wear a mask. You have to wear, I don't want to do this right now, but you're not allowed to be in here without a mask in front of everyone. Mind you, the professor knows she has an exemption. And so Safi's sitting there and I'm saying, no, you have a right to sit there. So I'm in the hallway, saying she has, just sit there, just stay. So she's sitting in the classroom, just sitting there, minding her own business. And the professor saying, you have to leave. You cannot be in this class without a face covering or a face mask on. You can either, again, making them put on something that they know is going to hurt their bodies, hurt themselves. And so then she said something to her, and I don't remember exactly what. You'll see the video, but my mind is so all over the place right now. She said something to her, which made me go into the room. And I said, basically, no, she has a right to be in class. You cannot kick her out. She has every right to be there, just like all these other children have a right to be there. And so fast forwarding, she calls security. Security comes. And you'll see it in the videos. If you go back and watch them, I will upload them. So I'm not going to go through every single one. But so then we talk to the security guard. He asks us to come to the office so we can sit down and talk and discuss what's going on. So we do that. And in this meeting, I clearly, again, tell him that the president of the school already has my exemption letter. The ADA, nurse, Pam, has my exemption letters for my children. Not only that, then I clearly outline the civil rights movement, the ADA, HIPAA, all of the things that are in place so this cannot happen. All of the things, the violations that the school is doing, because I want them on record. I understand if you don't know, but I don't want to hear that you're just doing your job. I'm sick of hearing you're just doing your job. No, just doing your job is standing on the Constitution, standing on our civil rights, standing on our freedoms, our liberties, standing with us. No, I'm done with, we're just doing our jobs. So as we talked to him, and I said, no, I have no problem leaving the school grounds. My daughter's in class. She's in the library studying. She has another class at 11 o'clock. And so I wait outside. I go to my car. We wait in the car. So at about 10:45, we go back into the school so I can walk her again to her class. And so when we get to, mind you, I had called the sheriff's department to see where they stand on what I'm supposed to do, because no one knows, what we're supposed to be doing. And so I know what's supposed to happen, but does it look like that? No, I know that they're supposed to be supporting us, but is it looking like that? No. So I called the sheriff, the deputy, or I should say I didn't talk to the sheriff, I talked to a deputy. And they, of course, say it's a civil rights matter. I said, so if someone says they're getting kicked out of a building because they're Black, discrimination, that's okay. You would just allow that. You're kicking out a handicapped person because they're in a wheelchair, you would allow that. Okay, so I said, okay, thank you. I go up to the school. I called the police department. I said, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. They're trying to kick my daughter out of class when she has every right to be in there. What are we supposed to do? What is the next step? How do we handle this? And they basically saying that I and my daughter could get charged with trespassing and go to jail for not wearing a mask. They don't want to, of course, take it that way. But to me, it's beyond that they're even kicking her out of class, that she has no rights. I guess all of our rights are gone, that we can't, we have nothing to stand on. I'm not going to believe that, and nor am I going to stand by and let that happen. And so then we get to the library, we walk her to her other class. She goes in, she sits down. So I had called the police department again, I think, and we're talking and they're saying the same thing. And so then the security guard comes again and he's talking to us, and then the policemen come, and my daughter's in her class taking her test, and they tell her basically, or they're telling us that the security guard, sorry, this is all over the place. The security guard is telling us that he wants the police to press charges against us for trespassing, and that where's that paper? Can you grab that paper that they gave us? And so the police department gave us I don't know what I did with it. Sorry, I'm looking for the paper that they gave us. Gave us forms saying that we are not allowed to be on the property for a year. I guess no due process, no nothing. They can do whatever they want. So then the police say that they're filling out the form saying it's trespassing. Not only that, then the security guard said he's going to go talk to my daughter. And I said, actually, you're not. The police can go up there because she's underage. She's only 16 years old. And so then we go over to the door, and they say he's saying, well, she can either put a mask on or she has to leave. And of course, I bring it always back to civil rights and the Constitution, because that's what I stand on, and my inalienable rights that come from Yahweh, God alone. And I said, so he's telling her that he's telling me again about the mask. And then the professor comes out, because we're in a hallway. The kids are doing their test inside. The professor comes out and saying, what is he supposed to do? And so then the security guard goes in and asks, do you want to can you put on a face mask? If you're going to be in here, you need to put on a face mask. And my daughter says, no, she's not putting on a face mask. She has a right to be in the class taking her test. And so then the security guard comes back out, and then he's talking to me again. And then the professor comes out and says something. And then he goes to talk to Safai, because sorry, I should have said her name probably, but again, none of us want this attention. None of us want this to be happening, but we're in it. We're in it. Now that we are in it, we need to stand, not for just me, but for everyone that is dealing with this. I have so many friends that have Their kids have autism. They have whatever, you name it, who are not being allowed to go to school because, see, again, it's not, they say, oh, just do it online. See, that's discrimination. That's segregation. They have a right to be in school just like everyone else. During the AIDS epidemic, they tried the same thing. Oh, just stay home. But we know that this disease is a virus. What is it? 99.8% doesn't affect children. So anyways, that's not even the point. The point is, I don't even want to argue that or go that route, because my point is the Constitution, they have this in place for a reason, so that times like this, we don't get chaos. But instead of standing on the Constitution, we have these rogue government officials, people who are just doing their jobs, following unjust, unlawful, unconstitutional acts. And so then she's in the class, and they are talking to her, and so she gets up and she comes out into the hallway, and then the security guard is basically telling her, do you want to if you want to go back into the classroom, you will have to put a mask on. And she's just staring at him, and I start talking to her, and I said, you have every right to be in that classroom without a mask on. What do you want to do? She's torn between doing what's right, what she believes in, because let's get something straight, please. I talk to my daughters. We have a conversation. I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say this is just something she can walk in and say, this is what I'm going to do. That's not her. This is not her personality. Her personality is to listen, to obey the people in authority. That's mine too. But when authority is stepping on everything we believe in, this is the time we need to speak up. And so she wants to be in there without a face mask. She wants to be in there. Her doctor told her she cannot wear a mask. Period. So then she comes out. So the security officer decides he wants to, I guess, like that, decides that they're just gonna stop class and tell everyone to leave so that she can't go back into the classroom. And so then I wanted to, talk to the professor and apologize for whatever's going on here. And but the policemen were like, no, you can't do that. We'll relay the message. You guys just need to leave. And so here's the form that they gave us. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It says notice of trespass for a period effective immediately and expiring on 2/3/22. You are further advised that a violation of this notice of trespass could subject you to criminal prosecution under Minnesota State Statute 609-605. A conviction under this statute could result in a fine of up to $1,000 and/or 90 days in jail. Date issued 2/3/21. Time issued 11/31. Again, can you pass me my black book? Because I don't know if you remember, but I took the class that the Minnesota Department of Health, the big bag, please. The Minnesota Department of Health went through with regulations. You by law cannot stop anyone from entering a building who doesn't have a mask on. Not one person. You can't stop them. You can't ask them any questions. You cannot deny them service. Period. But again, we don't even follow their own unconstitutional, unlawful, I need my big book over there, unconstitutional, unlawful, unethical mandates that they have themselves. And I'm not even sure, I'm hoping everyone who listens to this, that you are aware that they are trying to pass, I'm going to pull it up, I'm sorry. They are trying to pass, you guys think this is a little thing? This is not something little. They are trying to pass HF 604 as introduced, 92nd legislature, about face covering. Current version as introduced, a bill for an act relating to public health requiring face coverings in certain settings, establishments, implementing requirements, providing for penalties and injunctive relief, providing for expiration of the face covering requirement. So now they are actually trying to make it a law that every one of us have to wear a face covering. Isn't that so nice that when we allow our government to even think, that I guess that's my biggest problem, is that they think that this thought would even enter their mind, that they could even do something like this. To me, this should have been the farthest thing from their mind, that it shouldn't even have crossed their thought that they think they can mandate that we put a face covering on. I have no words to even describe. So I was going to find, again, I want to show in the governor's mandates, the governor's mandate itself. So it's, again, they want to pick and choose what they want to follow and what they don't want to follow. Individual rights, page 14D. Nothing in this executive order is intended to encourage or allow law enforcement to transgress individual constitutional rights. I'm going to read it one more time just so everyone can understand, even in their own mandates, the governor's own mandate itself. Individual rights. Nothing in this executive order is intended to encourage or allow law enforcement to transgress individual constitutional rights. So I'm just wondering what just happened here. Because I know I have the freedom to go into that school. My daughter has the freedom to be in school without a face covering. If anyone is on, they have any questions, which I'm not sure if I can even see them. I don't even know. If anyone has any questions, I will try to upload. I'm just going to put that to see what happens. The videos of what happened today, and it's just mind-boggling. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. If we can have people that are willing, I guess, to reach out to me, because something has to be done. Enough talking about it. It's time we take action. We need to demand that these kids are in school without masks. We need to demand, not ask, demand, take off the mask, get our kids in school without them, stand up for our children, stand up for each other. And I'm asking that we either, if anyone has any ideas, I'm thinking rally, boycott the schools, something. When are we going to say enough is enough? So if you guys can reach out to me and let me know what you think, because this has been 10 months. I guess it was supposed to be 2 weeks. And I don't even know. I guess, Steve, do you want to say anything about what happened today?
You know, there's not a lot left to say, really. She covered the bases, but if you have an exemption from your doctor and you're not going against the law, they're not willing to allow those exemptions. I mean, what are they going to allow them? You know, you got to wear a mask here even though you have an exemption. Okay, well, there's no defined law to that. It's not like it's a private company where they can say, well, you have to meet these criteria or you can't be here. That's a whole different ballgame. But when you're talking about pretty much a public school system, and they're drawing the lines in the sand, you know, basically without definition, it don't make sense to me. Again, if you have a legitimate doctor's note saying, hey, this person can't do it, maybe they're asthmatic, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's none of their business. And then they're saying, well, you can't come in here even though you have a legitimate excuse. Well, what else are they going to say? You can't come in here because, you know, you're not eating hamburgers on Wednesday, or what other stupid rules are they going to make? People are duped by the health issue of it all, but I'm not going to go into that because that's not the topic. But I mean, it does tie. I'll leave that part alone for now. As a nutritional practitioner, there's things that I could say right now, but again, it comes down to what the school is doing right now. They think they have power that they don't. And that's the same way with the Attorney General, the governor, all them people. They're going on a power trip, and it's not even legal. I they're overstepping their bounds by what, like 10 months. So where's it stop? Just remember, the people back in the times of Hitler probably didn't think they were going to get on a train ever, and look what happened. So history will repeat itself. You may think it's crazy to bring something like that up, but look throughout history, there's always been a lot of crazy stuff that happened, and to think that it can't happen in America, well, guess what? It's happening.
None of this stuff did we think could happen in America. At least I didn't.
Right.
I didn't think that a governor could, or we would allow a governor to shut down businesses that he deems non-essential. That we would still allow segregation in our schools, letting kids in who they deem are worthy and who can't. So I was hoping, I guess I prayed, I thought that we were beyond this, that we had learned our lessons, that we have learned from our past.
That's kind of the big thing too. You just touched upon that. Now they're picking and choosing who can and can't be in college or any public school. And right before this, the comparison is, and it's on the same wavelength, is what stores are open, what stores are not. We get to pick and choose what can open, what can close, blah blah blah. Okay, I guess that is freedom, right? Where does it end? Where does it really end?
I also wanted to say, people want to say, oh, we're doing this because of what? To keep other people safe? Oh, you're just selfish. You're just what? You name it. That's what they call us. But we can look back in history. I mean, I'm not even going to, what about with the AIDS epidemic? I bring this up. That's why we have things in place. They did the same thing. They were fighting to go to school with AIDS. And what did the government say? They actually came in and said they have a right to be in school with the disease. My children don't have a disease. They've never been a disease, and I'm not going to act like they are. Even with the doctor's note, they're still not allowing them to be in school. But again, for me, it's not even about that. It's about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. But I've even gone by their own mandates, and they still deny you. So you can't win either way. Until we, the people, come together and stand. And I'm asking you to stand with my daughters. I'm asking you to stand for our children. I'm asking you to stand for each other. Stand on the Constitution. Let's take our country back to where it belongs. We, the people. If you want to wear a mask, you are more than welcome. But to mandate or try to make a law. So I'm just asking you to stand with us, to join with us. And I will be letting everyone know what is going to happen next. I don't know. I have to talk to my daughter to see what she wants to do. And some kind of sit-in is what I'm thinking. If you guys are willing to stand with us, to fight with us, to stand up for our children and say enough is enough, take the mask off. People call me, text me, email me about mask and their sports because I was a coach for the gymnastics team. No coach in their right mind would have ever allowed a child to wear a mask while working out, ever, doing a sport. But now all of a sudden it's okay. And so we the parents say no. And stand up for them. They're going to keep taking and taking and taking. So I guess I ranted on long enough. I'm sorry. It's just been another crazy hectic day. Woohoo! Yesterday was pretty even keel, so that was pretty nice. And I thought, woohoo! But today, not so much. But that's okay. So thank you to everyone who's out there. Reach out to me if you have any questions or have any advice, or if we can get everyone in Minnesota and Marshall to come together to our little towns to say enough is enough. And it starts with, I should have said again, I'm going to rename this One Voice because it really just starts with one voice and those one voices coming together. And that's what I'm asking for all of us to do. One voice coming together so that we can make a change. So I hope you will be my voice so that I can be your voice and we can be a voice for our children. Thank you. And bye. Oh, sorry, I didn't push end. Okay.